me like that. Talk to me like that. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Like I said, I'm about to go. No, she's sorry. She's sorry. You are sorry. He's different than me. I ain't the same as him. He's different than me.
Greetings and what up, though? It's your boy Jason Jamerson, and welcome to the Jason Jamerson podcast. With me, as always, is my man 100 grand, Kev BJ. What's going on, Kev?
What up, though? How you doing?
Hey, I'm fantastic, cuz. I'm fantastic. You know, we've been away for a week, 2 weeks, something like that.
It's been a long time. It's good to see you. Good to see you, Jeanette.
Good to see y'all.
Yeah. Well, wait. I'm going to introduce her in just a second. I just had to apologize to our faithful viewers who were looking for us the last week or two, and we were not there for y'all. We apologize, and it won't happen again. It will not happen again.
You got to post it next time. We got to post.
Yeah, I most definitely didn't even tell y'all we wasn't going to be here. I'm gonna look at the camera. Is this my camera? I'm looking right in the camera. It will never happen again. We will never leave you again. All right. And just to make up for that, we have a phenomenal guest today. This young lady, she is born in Alabama, moved to Detroit, and she is a phenomenal actress and model. I want y'all to welcome to the Jason Jamerson podcast, Miss J. Drake. What's going on?
Thank you. You're so sweet. Thank you.
Hey man, listen, I just talk. You know what I'm saying? I just talk. So Jeanette is Jeanette, like I said, is an actress. She is from Alabama. She moved to Detroit. She has a few movies on Amazon Prime right now. We're gonna get into all of that. But the first thing I want to know, first of all, is how are you doing on this wonderful Monday?
I'm good. I can't complain. I can't complain at all. I'm a little tired.
Even if you did, it wouldn't change nothing. Even if you did, it wouldn't change. I'm over here. I don't know if it's because you won't hear or not, but I've been saying a bunch of Southern phrases ever since. Little Southern comment. They asked me, Kev said it was good to see you. I said it's good to be seen and not viewed. That's not even how I talk regular, but
it's deep.
It's very deep. It's very deep. But yeah, so Jeanette, how long have you been acting and modeling? Well, first of all, which were you doing first, acting or modeling?
I was modeling first. I've been doing that for like 12 years, and then I got into modeling. I got into acting about like a few years later. It was kind of by chance. I really wasn't even thinking about it, honestly. You remember when Groupon was first popping, and Michigan Actor Studio was giving out like free classes. I'm like, I'm just gonna go. Because a photographer told me like I should go to try to help me with my model faces when I'm posing and stuff. So I just went for the heck of it, and then I just kind of fell into it.
I probably should have took that Groupon up because I'd be posing so dumb when I do photo shoots. I don't know what to do with my hands or my face.
It's not easy. Like everybody think modeling is just standing there taking pictures and doing some random posts. It's not as easy as you think it is.
I definitely pose with my chest and arms every time. Like this is all they came to see anyway. This is what y'all want. I just they're like, all right, now make your face, but it doesn't matter what my face looks like. They want the arms and the chest. Yeah. But yeah, so you didn't start when you were in Alabama. You started here in Michigan.
Yeah. Honestly, I've always wanted to do it. It was always like a thought in my head as a kid, but coming from where I'm from in Alabama, is really not much there. So you think it's not attainable. So when I came here, I fell into it by chance. Like I would always shop at this boutique called Teasers on Livernois, and Paulette, the lady, one day she was like, "You wear my clothes well. Like I want you to model for me." I was like, "Oh, for real?" And like, I got a fashion show coming up. We'll teach you how to walk. Don't worry about it. Got there, and there was a lot of photographers there who wanted to shoot me. And then the ball started rolling from there.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I hate to just keep pulling myself into this modeling world, but I remember I did a photo shoot, or I did a fashion show, and a lot of designers wanted me. but they only wanted me for my chest, which is why I always pose with my chest and arms. Like, that's all they want. That's all they want. But no, that's what's up. So you were modeling. What got you into acting? What pulled you into acting?
We remember, like I said, I took that Groupon and went to Michigan Actor Studio, and I'm kind of shy, and I used to be painfully shy. And the acting coach there, he was like, just start going on random auditions for the heck of it. Just go, just to help your nerves.
Get comfortable.
Yep. And that's what I started doing. And by chance, I booked a role. Wasn't even expected to, for this pilot called Living It Up. And the pilot is on YouTube. It's really good. And and it just went rolling from there. I was like, I want to keep doing this, because the guy who wrote it, well, he was a kid at the time, and he ended up going to college in California. And so he kept me and another girl, and like he had got a budget, flew us out there. We shot a whole pilot, and like I felt like a star. Like they was treating me like A-list celebrity. I'm like, I can get used to this. But it was a good feeling, and like I said, the ball kept rolling. So I kept auditioning. I kept taking more classes because I enjoyed them, and it was helping me with my nerves and helping me to get more confident behind the camera in as far as acting and modeling.
So since you started acting and modeling, have you built like a pretty good network doing that as well?
I feel like I'm not the best networker because I'm fairly reserved, but I do talk to people, and like people are familiar with my work, and my work almost kind of speak for itself, and my professionalism and my attitude. So I feel like that makes people want to reach out to me and have me to come audition. But I'm working on being more open and talking more to people, being more of a go-getter, like, because really that's a major part of this right now. Like you can have all the talent and skill in the world, but if you don't have that drive or that networking skill, you're not going to get as far as some people.
No, I agree. I had a mentor, and she once told me networking starts with hello and ends with thank you. And so I try to do that and moving forward. So for all of y'all out here trying to network, hello and thank you to get you a long way.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it most certainly does. I was always told, I said this before on the show. It's not about who you know, it's about who knows you. So it's all about the impression you make. So that hello and that thank you is real important.
Yes, it is.
That thank you is real important. So all right, so there you get your feet wet, you're doing all this stuff, but now you out here. Like I said, you got films on Amazon Prime. You have one that recently came out, don't you?
That, and it's doing so well. It's called Dear Future Husband. It's streaming now for free on Prime, Tubi, and Urban Flix. It was like number one on Urban Flix for like 18 weeks, and it's like most popular on Tubi right now. So it's doing really well. I'm excited about it. I'm proud of that work.
Okay, now how'd you get in that one? Because I will say this. As far as Detroit film goes, it is a very tight knit. Like people like who they like, and they film with. They cast who they cast. It's almost like back in the day where you would see like in Robert Townsend would have like the same people in all his movies. It's just like that with the different production companies here in Detroit. So for you to break into the circle, how did that happen? How'd you get into the circle?
Right. I was shocked. Okay, so I auditioned like way before the lockdown. Like this has been a process, and I'm like, I ain't hear nothing, so I'm like, oh, I ain't getting it. Because honestly, I thought my audition was not my best. I was not proud of it, and then I get an email as soon as quarantine hit, said I've been cast for the role of Patricia. And I was like, oh shoot, nah, like I was not expecting that. And I was like, that wasn't nothing but the cat suit, because I was at a photo shoot and I flew from the photo shoot to the audition. I was like, the cat suit got the audition. It was the looks that they got the part.
They want you for the cat suit. They want me for the chest and arms. You see how these people be?
Yeah. Because like my character, she was a little more spicy, a little more outgoing, the outgoing friend, the drinker, the partier. You know, I was like, that wasn't nothing but the cat suit that got that part.
Yeah, to my knowledge, that's not how you are at all in real life. So I got. I'm sad. I feel ashamed to say this, but now I got to see this movie. I haven't watched it yet. But in my defense, I'm never home, and I don't watch stuff on my phone either. So I very rarely have time to sit down and watch something if it's not a family thing. So to my knowledge, Dear Future Husband is not a family film.
It's a family film. It's a family film.
All right. Well, let me see how my 7-year-old like this movie.
Yeah, my character just a hot mess, but it's a family film.
All right. So you that who directed that? That was directed by Kamal Smith.
Mm-hmm.
My man Kamal Smith. He is a good friend of mine.
Yeah.
A really good friend of mine. So you did that. What else you have on Amazon Prime right now?
I have The Spot 313. We shot it a little while ago, but they finally got it up on I think it's on Tubi and Amazon Prime. So that was another shocker too, which was crazy. Like I auditioned for like a completely different role because like when I go out for roles, I be trying to find the character that is complete opposite of me because I don't want people seeing me when I'm on the screen and I want to flex my range, you know. But they was like, this is a little tea, but they was like, that character already promised to somebody else, but we're gonna give you this one. So they had me playing the next door neighbor to the main character, Sabrina. She a dancer, stripper, and she kind of got a little Felicia vibe from Friday too. But I think it's one of the better comedies to come out of the city. Honestly, that's my opinion.
Okay, so unless Care, did you have something you want to say about that? Because if not,
no, I'm gonna check out the movie. So I just kind of bookmarked it in my on my account on my IMDb. So looking forward to being a viewer for sure.
Okay, cool. So now we're about to transition. I alluded to the fact that Detroit filmmakers like they group tight knit, which is I have no problem with that whatsoever. I'm the same way. When I book comedy shows, for the most part, I book people who I know what I'm gonna get from these people. You know what I'm saying? Not that I don't, like other comedians, but and then a lot of times I don't got that big of a budget, so I know the comedians is gonna do me a favor versus the ones that's gonna try to tax me. Mm-hmm. I just ain't got it for you today. But here in Detroit, we do have a blossoming film industry here. Like right now, there's a lot of stuff on Amazon Prime and things that are actually getting a lot of notoriety. We got McGraw Ave, which Shaq shouted out on his Instagram. Shaq, so it's talking about McGraw Ave. We got like you said, The Spot, Dear Future Husband. Like every 5 seconds, I see somebody I know on a film filmed here on Amazon Prime or something like that. However, being that I'm not 100% sure if you're with the agency or not, but you made a status earlier today about some of the harshest things that casting directors may have. Well, you asked everybody what are some of the harshest things that casting directors have said when they're like rejecting you. Where did that come from? And was it anybody around here that said it?
It was actually one of the first couple times that I went to LA a few years back. I was young and I was hungry, and they was tearing a sister down. They was like, you're gonna have to pick a struggle. Like you either gonna be fat or you're gonna be skinny. Like, what do you see leading ladies looking like on TV? Like you need to drop 30 pounds, and you are a little tall, so it's gonna be hard. When I went to LA, I did feel like I was just towering over people and people were staring at me all the time. But yeah, that kind of like
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Jay is 6'4". She's 6'4". No, she's 5'11". She's 5'11". She can't dunk on nobody, but she is taller than the average woman. And so you said, so yeah, like you said that they told you that you got to pick a struggle, either be fat or be skinny. That how do you feel about that in the industry today? Because I know you said you went to LA some years ago.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's kind of changing. They're more accepting more of curvier women. But honestly, it seems like they're more accepting of curvier women in different ethnicities. Won't say black women. It always seems like they like our features on other people. If that makes sense. But I like that it's changing and they're more accepting. What I want to say.
Take your time. Take your time, Pastor.
But I ain't gonna. I'm gonna be honest though. Like I could have stood at that time. I could have stood to lose about 30 pounds. Honestly, because you're gonna look heavier on TV. I was a little bigger then. I was a little thicker then. It seems like the thicker you are and tall, it's a little more intimidating. And you're like,
no director want nobody that they know can beat them up if they turn them down.
It was just funny though, because the lady that told me that, she like 5'2" and 250 pounds standing in front of me. You know what I'm saying? But I wish I am hoping though to see even more diversity when it comes to the look, because it seemed like so many people in Hollywood are like tiny, and I wish they would realize, this is not idealistic. Like for real, I don't think people around the way look at some of these women in Hollywood and want to look like them. Like I don't know a lot of women that want to be skinny, that want to be a size 2 or 4, I see chicks killing themselves in the gym with the band, with the booty band and all this stuff, trying to get some hips and some thighs, but they should definitely open it up. It's entirely too many talented people in the world, tall, short, fat, skinny, thick, whatever, but they should definitely open it up so people can see themselves on TV and so they can feel good about themselves. Because I really didn't see a reflection of myself on TV growing up, so I didn't know what to think. And that's probably another thing why this didn't seem attainable to me, because I didn't really see anybody on TV that looked like me.
Yeah. Jay, may I ask? You talked about your height a little bit. Can you just talk about the confidence you've gotten from being a tall woman? I know that starts as a young girl, right? Being tall, standing out, kind of having those things and being able to persevere through that. Can you talk about that experience?
Yeah. Definitely got picked on a lot.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Height.
They're lost.
In my size, but it was usually by like short guys at school. Usually if it's females, they try to say you're like manly or whatever because you're towering over people. And honestly, like in my graduating class, it was a lot of tall females.
Okay.
It was a lot of tall females. And honestly, even though I accept it more now, it's still a struggle at times. Mm-hmm. You see how they do Meg the Stallion. She get called so many trannies and males, and because she calls herself a stallion, I think a stallion is a male horse.
Mm-hmm.
And and people don't understand that's a slang down south. For tall, curvaceous women, we get called stallions. I've been called a stallion. I've been called an Amazon. The Twin Towers, like that's just one of the slangs down south. But people just need to understand everybody is not going to be short. Every woman is not going to be short.
Right. Inclusivity.
Yeah. But it's definitely still a struggle at times. But I love it, and I wear my heels. you know, unapologetically. Like, I don't care if I'm towering over all my friends or guys. I'm gonna wear my heels and I'm gonna keep it feminine and cute.
Thank you for sharing that. I asked that because many women in my family are at 6 foot or over 6 foot as well. I'm 6'5.5" myself, and so they teach confidence in being tall and owning it and kind of doing those things, and definitely a part of our family lineage for sure. And so, just was curious as for someone else who may have grew up in the same type of environment.
You definitely gotta own it.
Yeah, I'm the run of the family. You know what I'm saying? I'm only a whopping 6'2".
Well, where are you to run?
Oh, the run of the family. You heard Kev? He said he's 6'5". This man, I remember I brought him over to play basketball against a dude who just kept beating me in basketball. That was my man's 100 grams. But Kev, that dude couldn't do nothing with him. He's just too tall. But yeah, so I want to get back to like the inclusion of the individuals that don't look the usual part, because like you said, growing up you didn't see anybody that looked like you on TV, and the only people who I saw, like if I were a young man right now growing my hair out, the only people I see on TV that would look like me, to my knowledge, are thugs. Still, like even though African Americans have been casted differently, an African American with locks is still cast as like a thug, a Jamaican. It's still not a positive stereotype. There's always jokes made about them in the movies and whatnot. You don't necessarily see too many of them, and it's also frowned upon as in the corporate world also to have locks like that. But what do you think as far as like the younger generation now? What do you think they are seeing now to make them more like feel like that they're getting, like, the difference between back in the day and now as far as the inclusion and what they're seeing, besides just like you said, the size difference, even though they see the features of a black woman on a white woman? What else do you see that's like, well, you feel like is inspiring to this younger generation, or even to yourself?
I like the fact you have somebody like Lizzo out there. Even though I think sometimes the way she puts herself out there could be a little trashy, my opinion, but I like the fact that she's comfortable in her skin. I wish she wouldn't have those meltdowns online, but I think she's beautiful. And I'm loving this. I'm loving the representation of dark skinned Black women. I do wish I didn't mention this earlier, but in the model world, being a brown one is very hard. They either want you dark, or they want you to be very racially ambiguous, like very high yellow. So I have to go out my way and work harder being a brown person. And I don't think people realize there is a brown person struggle, but it is.
Oh yeah, it is. I most definitely I got these locks and these tattoos so I can lie and tell them I'm Samoan for real. I ain't black. I can be. You know what I'm saying? I'm black. I'm Dominican. I'm whatever y'all need me to be. I'm
right.
No, I ain't that desperate for a gig.
Wait. I would love to ask you about that though. So I see a lot of that in film, and shows and things like that, where people will, the main preface of the role is to be part of a certain culture or nationality or have a certain experience, and people who obviously aren't that are playing those roles. How do y'all feel about that as creators? People who have acted, you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty controversial sometimes, and I feel like I've had opinions sometimes, and other times I may have understood.
That's a good question.
Go ahead and go first, Ms. J. Drake. And also, before you answer that question, if any of the viewers have any questions for Ms. J. Drake, go ahead and throw them in the comments. I'll bring them up on screen and we can ask them. But go ahead, Jay.
I definitely understand, some of the frustrations, with the Black British invasion and American blacks playing like Jamaicans and Africans, and the accents
I
don't
know
make
that.
authentic. I understand, but I say, let the best actor win. you know. But I also know, I don't think people really talk about this with the Black British invasion. I don't think people understand the prejudice that they deal with over there. And it's hard for them to get
I can
roles. So they come over here, and they are well trained. So I'm not mad at it, you know. But
Yeah.
I definitely understand the frustration. But I say, best actor win. But I know sometimes some people get the roles based on their popularity. But it's like, I mean, what can you do? People want to sell tickets.
Right. Because at the end of the day, it's about how many butts can you get in the seats at the end of the day.
Right. We just
Yeah.
have to step your game up and keep working.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I understand people want to see a better representation of themselves and their culture on screen. But unfortunately, that's how it is.
So for me, I see it. There's the ridiculous ones, like friggin' Tom Cruise in Last Samurai, or when somebody's clearly of a totally different descent, and then they're just talking with a random accent and it just sounds bad. But then there's the other ones where it's like, for instance, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, even though it's a fictitious character, but he was depicting somebody from Africa, and I feel like in those kind of situations, as long as they truly do their due diligence, I'm cool with it. If it's just a random person who's just oh yes, I am from Africa, nah, you don't. That's just, to me, that's insulting. Like, if you actually do your due diligence, go to a dialect class, speak to Africans or whoever you're supposed to be portraying, and actually get the like an actor should do. You know what I'm saying? That really is into the role. That once again, as long as it's not one of those ridiculous Keanu Reeves as a samurai person type thing, I'm okay with it. That's just my opinion. We actually have a question from a viewer. Ashley K asks, Jay Ugama Drake, which we got. Oh, you told me about the Ugama. We're gonna have to get into that in a second. What are some types of roles you would like to play that you haven't done yet?
Oh, ooh. I would love to do a romantic comedy where I am the interest. I'm the love interest. I would love to do that because I don't think I've seen I ain't seen no tall woman as like the main attraction. Like some roles that I've seen with tall women like me, like they're like comedic and like they pair them with a short man for comedy. I would love to be a hero. I would love to be the hero. I'm always in this gym, like, let me flex my muscles. Let me fight somebody. I would love to be a hero. Okay. And I would love to do some biopics too. Like, I posted this question one time. I was asking everybody, like, who would they like to play? Like, my two off the top is Angela Davis and Layla Ali. Like, I would love to be them in a biopic.
Yeah. Mine is a Stevie Wonder. That's the whole reason I got my hair like this. It's slowly but surely, the hairline is about to match the role. Slowly but surely. But no, that is actually has been my dream role even before I started growing my hair. I want to play Stevie Wonder in his life story biopic. That's
a good one for you.
Yeah, but the Ugama. I'm sorry, I don't even know how do you pronounce that properly, and where did that come from?
Ugama.
All right, tell the people, tell the world something they don't know about you real quick.
Ugama.
Where did that come from?
That came straight from the motherland. Like during undergrad, I needed like 4 more credits to graduate. I'm like, what the heck I'm gonna take, you know? And then I saw on the wall one day, travel abroad, study abroad, 4 credits. I was like, there it is, and I ain't gotta pay for it. We stayed over there for like a month, and
where's over there exactly?
oh, we was in Nigeria. We were in Owerri, Nigeria. We went to Igbo. We was in Igbo land. We went to Igbo University, and like our last week there, like we had a celebration with this chief, and he like pretty much anointed us with some names, just random names. And he gave me Ugoma, and he said that means beautiful eagle. I was like, okay,
beautiful eagle.
All right, that's gonna stick with me forever. I'm gonna soar like the eagle.
Hey.
There you go. There you go. There you go. So I better not hear you complaining no more. When we I had to put you on blast in public. I don't want to hear no more complaining, no more.
I always be going to Jason.
No, that's dope though. That's dope. I have not been that far across the ocean, nor have I been across the ocean like that. But how was that a whole experience?
It was definitely an eye opener. It was an experience. It first of all, it made me grateful for a lot of things, because it made me grateful for water, for toilet paper, for food and snacks, because when I tell you I could not eat the food over there, and their food is not pumped up with hormones and stuff like ours. And like the first week, like the food was making me sick. All I could eat was like fruit and rice and chicken liver. Like that's all I could hang. That's all I could hang with. But my body got used to it as the days went on. I remember when I first came back, I was like, I'm about to get a big old corned beef from the Coney Island. Got a corned beef. I got sick.
I was about to say you was about to get sick.
Sick. And it was definitely an eye opener. Like they could tell. They always say we could tell you are Americans, and I'm like, how? You know, I guess we Americans walk around with this certain type of freedom, like we think we could do anything. Like we're really completely free. And plus we were loud. They didn't understand that, and it was just random things we were doing that they didn't understand. Like when we would be walking and eating something, like that was weird to them. I was like, I don't understand. And one thing that really that surprised me and got to me, like a lot of them still don't understand how we got over here. And I'm like, we had to explain this a few times. Like we're part of you, you know.
That might not be their fault though. You know how the oppressive nature of the world has been.
Yeah.
Giving information out of places.
Yep. And we had to break it down to them. You know, our people, you know, from over here, they was taken. They was brought to this foreign place, and you know, and they had like certain perceptions about us. You know, they thought the women would be like slender and skinny like women on TV. Like, no. And like the men, I remember we were having a conversation one day with a group of men at the hotel we were staying in, and they were like, why Black American men don't work? And we was like, oh no, like that's not it. Like, and we had to break down so much about the prejudice and institutional racism, systemic racism that we have to deal with over here, that set things up the way that they are, you know, and that we still have to fight against somehow. But and one thing, Africans, I would say, they will serve you alcohol before they serve you water. And at that time,
I appreciate the hospitality.
The hospitality.
I was like, at that time, I'm like the youngest one on the trip. I had like just turned 21 like a month prior, and I'm just like, I don't drink like this, and they just looking at me like here, like take this.
Drink that. Don't be disrespectful.
Right.
Yeah, don't be disrespectful.
Right. And they can party and it's just fun when they party. It's just fun, no problems.
That's what's up. You don't gotta worry about nobody stepping on no sneakers or nothing. That's what's up. That's dope. Do you feel like that experience helped you out in your acting or modeling or anything?
You know what? I think it did. I think in life, period, it helped me. It helped me out. It helped me to be more open to everyone, no matter the ethnicity, and to be more sensitive of how they think and feel about certain things because they may not know.
I love that. For people think about diversity and having diverse experiences, and there's a movement of diversity now, like in a lot of in your industry, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of workforce and stuff like that. But like those diverse experiences, diverse thoughts really help you excel and grow. Yeah. And it sounds like it was super valuable for you.
Yes, it was. I feel like the government should like make it mandatory for everybody to pick somewhere and go overseas and go visit for like a month. Like I feel like that should be a requirement. That would be nice.
It should.
Jay, where did you go to school? You say you went on study abroad. Where did you go to school?
I went to U of M, undergrad at U of M, and went to Wayne State for grad school.
Okay. Yeah. Well, go green. Our curriculum was mandatory for you to do study abroad in most curriculum. So a lot of MSU people went abroad as well.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Oh, this is about to turn to a fight real quick.
You know what? I wasn't even serious about it, the whole go.
It's all good.
I was like, I just want to get my degree and get up out of here.
Yeah, man. I tell you, I didn't go to either school, but there's one factor because all my cousins, like Kev, you went to MSU. I went up there a few times. Some of my friends went there and I partied there a lot. My dad went to U of M and all that good stuff. There's two things that's a deal breaker. Number one, my daughter was born at U of M, so I'm automatically gonna have to go blue on that one. But also, I got my heart broke at MSU, and I'll never want to go there again. I'm gonna tell that story a different time. But yeah,
you gotta be a Spartan when you're up there, man. You gotta be a Spartan. That's all.
Man, listen. I got played. You know what? I might just tell that story. I got played ridiculous. This girl I was trying to talk to asked me to come up there and see her. I was like, all right, cool. I went up there, and apparently she invited me up there as a friend. So here's the worst part. So she was like, oh yeah, my roommate is out of town. You can sleep in the same room. I was like, cool. She had the bunk beds or whatever. So I get up there and we go and she give me a tour of the campus. There's a big group of us. And just so happened to be some random dude that was just around us all the time. I'm like, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? So we get back to her room. I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, I'm about to make my move in a second. And then I hear the door knock and dude walk in the room. And I'm like, oh, what is he doing here? You leave something or something? And he climbed up in the top bunk with her. And I'm just laying there in the bottom bunk, just hearing a bunch of moving around and giggling for the whole night. I said, this is the worst experience I had in my life. And yeah. That's the abridged version of the story. I just said that so I get to the point. But yeah, got my heart broke. And yes, I never want to see Michigan State again.
It's messed up.
It is messed up, but on a better note, my man's $100,000, Devontae Jordan, he decided he was going to take an early break at Taco Bell on the overnight shift to say, "You be a great Stevie, Jason Jamerson. I appreciate you, Devontae Jordan."
Shout out.
But yeah. So, Kev. It's been 2 weeks, man. We got a lot of stuff we got to cover. Jay, you are welcome to stay and talk with us about some stuff that's happened over the last 2 weeks since we've been. We got about 20 minutes left since we've been on hiatus. Been on a 2-week hiatus. First thing I would like to say is the NFL season has officially begun.
Okay.
And the Lions actually are playing right now, and they're actually wearing they're playing Monday night against the Packers. And they're actually wearing some different uniforms. They decided they were going to rock all white uniforms today. That's not a uniform they usually have in their repertoire.
What's the score?
I have no idea right now. Let me check. It's probably like 72-0 in the second quarter. And the Lions are probably losing. But actually, no, it's 7-7. 7-7 in the first quarter. 7-7. I had a friend of mine started doing DraftKings, and he knows football, but he doesn't really watch the NFL like that. So he been paying to do these doing the DraftKings things, but he's been having me pick the lineups. So I got a little stake in this game.
Okay. Okay.
So it's not that I have any money into it, but I got some money coming out of it if something happens. So
I'm a Lions fan too. I'm hoping we do well tonight. Jay, who are you rooting for?
You know what? I root for the Lions. I'm terrible. Like I don't really be watching sports, but if the game is good, like I'll sit there and like I'll watch. Like okay, they going in.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, I'll go for the Lions.
I also realized during this season, it's only the second week. There's been a whole lot of notable injuries in the NFL already. Some people are done for the season. Some people are just done, for a few weeks. And I take that. I probably have to get Sean back on here so we can talk about this. I personally feel like they're not training like they used to train. They want more athletes and less like athletes as far as like people who can do everything instead of people doing more focused training, and that's why so many people are getting hurt. And also the fact they changing the rules where they can keep getting hit in the knees and then wondering why their Achilles get every time. But I do feel like they need to start training these boys a little better. Kev, what else been going on over the last few weeks that you want to talk about?
Man. So one thing I've been paying a lot of attention to are some of the Olympic gymnasts testified to Congress over the last week and kind of told their stories with the Nassar case. And so that's been a big thing in just communities I'm in as an ex-athlete. I also went to Michigan State, so it's definitely closer to home. And then I would say just understanding that loving seeing the victims empower themselves and empower others, kind of telling their story. So in a lot of communities I've been in, people have been talking about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, also, for all of you, have y'all decided on if it's Dave Chappelle versus Damon Wayans?
Ooh.
Oh, I don't know if that's actually going. Well, Cat Williams actually came out and said Kevin Hart doesn't want to get embarrassed by him.
Okay.
He said it's something of that nature. He said something about it being too easy for him or something.
It depends who's in the crowd.
Yeah, I do feel like so here's the thing, and I think I told you this off the air a while ago. People see mainstream Kevin Hart. They didn't see Kevin Hart coming up the ranks where Kevin Hart learned the business of it and realized this is where I'm gonna make my money. You can either be the realest person in the room or the richest person in the room. Very few times are you both. You know what I'm saying? So he like notice he put out like the same 3 specials in a row, just talking about how short he was, but it was making him money. But if you look at some of his early stuff before he was on, and he was a little more edgy and whatnot, it was better. So I'm not saying that he will beat Cat. I'm just saying that is something to consider when you see somebody who's had this level of success for so long. And you could argue Cat has had that same level of success, but it's more so his is built on a brand that did not get him as far as Kevin Hart's has. You know what I'm saying? But once again, with the Wayne, Damon and Dave debate, Chappelle has too many specials. So if they go straight up stand up, it's gonna be Chappelle. But if you look at you said what?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say if you look at all around body of work, where you look at sitcom, My Wife and Kids, and In Living Color, and all that good stuff, and movies, you throw movies in there too. All things considered, I personally would give Damon a slight edge. All things considered, if you put everything now, if you go straight stand up, like I said, Chappelle got too many specials. Damon, to my knowledge, has 1. But if you're going like everything, skits he did on Living Color, all Mo Money and Blank Man and all that stuff, and My Wife and Kids, plus that stand-up special, and then he had some cameos and some things within the last 5-10 years too. I give the slightest of edges to Damon.
Yeah, I agree. He's severely underrated, but at the same time, he's the funniest Wayans, and the rest of them will tell you he's the funniest one.
He is. It's not even close.
And he's so humble about it. Like, he's so humble about it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, he was at a comedy club in Columbus, Ohio, like a few weeks ago. I almost drove down there to see him.
So he's been popping up doing like random stand-ups.
I think he's doing somewhat of a comedy tour at small comedy shows.
Nice.
Oh wait, we got somebody weighing in on it. Vontae said, "You don't think Chappelle show holds enough weight? The show itself, just that one show versus the rest of Damon's body of work, I don't think so. And just
how many movies has Dave Chappelle done?
All I can think of is Undercover Brother and Half Baked. Those are the only two movies I can think of off the top of my head. But I know he has more.
Nutty Professor.
Yeah, Nutty Professor. He had the cameo.
That one part in Nutty Professor.
That was like 10, 15 minutes. That was enough. That was funny to me, at least. It's still.
It was definitely funny.
It was funny.
Blue Streak. Devontae said Blue Streak. Robin Hood.
Robin Hood.
The Men in Tights.
Man,
I don't think his roles in those movies compare to Damon's roles in his movies.
Yeah. Blank Man.
But Damon had more control over his movies, which means, I mean, that's a great thing. So it was a different type of. They had different. I think that if we're gonna call it like that,
Yeah, I do agree. Because a lot of those movies were movies that were his movies. But I like I said, slightest edge to Damon. I'm not saying that it's a runaway train, and it's nowhere near the runaway train. Is the very slightest. But like I said, if we're going straight stand up, Chappelle gonna beat him. I was about to add something else, but I lost my train of thought because Devontae is over here trying to be a comedic historian over here in the comments. But
I wanted to ask you about Melo and LeBron.
Oh yeah. LeBron decided to put the ultimate team together, which is not going to do much to help his argument when it comes to people who are anti-LeBron. Because he also got Russ. Have you seen him on social media hanging out with Russell Westbrook? This man LeBron refuses to let his beard go gray. He is going the blackest of black. That man used some shoe polish on his beard recently or something. That junk was ridiculously black and dark. I'm like,
I feel like he's gonna come back with the gray.
I don't think so. Here's the thing: LeBron's aging backwards. You'll remember everybody talks about like, when LeBron got that mean glare, he about to put up 50. But a lot of people don't remember when LeBron took his headband off. That used to be what struck fear into other teams' hearts. But when he took the headband off, his hairline was non-existent, and he had that bald spot right back on the top right here. And all of a sudden now, this man got a doggone house party high top fade. Like, how does this happen? How does this happen? I don't understand it. But no, ultimately, I do think that the Lakers are loaded and the starters. I'm not 100% sure about they bench. I hate the Lakers, so I can't give nothing to them if they win. The only reason I kind of want them to win is Russ. Russ, my dog.
I want him to get a ring.
Russ, my dog. I just felt like when he signed to the Lakers, and I thought he might get a ring. I felt like old girl on the Matrix, like not like this, not like this. Hey, but yeah, no. I personally feel like if healthy, Brooklyn is a favorite to come out of the East again. Not again because they didn't come out this time, but that's because they weren't healthy. I feel like Brooklyn is a favorite to come out the East. Lakers, I haven't paid attention too much about what other teams have been doing in the West, but it seems as if they're the favorite to come out the West. I know it ain't gonna be the Clippers because they got Paul George. So any team with Paul George is not making it to no kind of finals. But yeah. No, that's I do think it's cool that LeBron and Carmelo are playing together because you know, they good friends. I think that's ultimately what everybody would want to do in their profession is work with one of their best friends or family members that they're real close to and be able to succeed. You know, just like the Wayans, you know, the whole family was working together and was succeeding. That had to been, well, I mean, for a time at least, it had to been cool for that to happen.
Yo, speaking of comedians, I saw AJ Johnson passed away.
Yeah, rest in peace, AJ Johnson. He's there from Friday. Rest in peace. I never worked with him. I know a lot of people, they just because they were on the same show as a person, they say I worked with him. I did meet him one time at Punchline, Comedy Lounge. I met him just because they let comedians get in free. So I got in and shook his hand and everything. He seemed like a cool dude, but I won't say it like I had a relationship with him or actually, you know, worked with him for real. But seemed like a cool dude. He frequently came to Detroit and did shows. So you know, city has to have some love for him. But yeah. And then also over this hiatus, there is a mural painted for local legend comedian KoolAid. It's at Baker's Keyboard Lounge. They painted that and they put it up. They unveiled it. It was a huge event. I'll share the video of the event on my page, but it was dope. It was dope. It was a whole lot of comedians. Some comedians came from out of town to see it, and there was also good food there because it was right next door to Durden's Catering. So yeah, that fish gripper, that ain't no joke.
Nice chicken.
That ain't no joke.
I did the mac and yams and I'm straight.
Yeah, so yeah, it was a dope event. It was put together by Kid Clever. Shout out to Kid Clever. I'm gonna try to get him on the podcast soon. But yeah, it was dope. It was a dope event. It was cool to see. Like KoolAid was one of them comedians where it's like nobody. If you had a problem with KoolAid, you had a problem. He ain't had no problems with nobody. Something was wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he was just that cool of a dude. One of the few. When I first started doing comedy, he was one of the few people who just put me right on stage. He made me go first all the time, but yeah, he put me right on stage, and you know, just being a fly on the wall when he was talking to other comedians, giving them advice. You know, that I've been around a lot of comedians that if you ain't been doing it for like 7-8 years, they ain't gonna say nothing to you. You know, they as long as you going on stage and stuff, they don't care. You know, they gonna, if you're around and you ain't been doing it long enough, they just gonna look at you like you're funny when you ask for advice. They just gonna say keep doing it. KoolAid wasn't like that. To me, at least, he wasn't like that. When I met him, you know, he would always tell me, he'd say something small, but it'd be a joke, but there'd be like a nugget in it. But you know, yeah, so that's cool. They actually put that the mural is going to be up at Baker's Keyboard Lounge forever. They ain't never taking it down. So, you know, anybody who watching this, if you ever come to Detroit, you want to see that mural, it's very dope. It's in the parking lot of Baker's Keyboard Lounge. Yeah. But yeah. Well, Jeanette, Miss J Drake, it was good talking to you. Learned a lot about you. Make sure you check out Dear Future Husband on Amazon Prime, Tubi, and what was it? Tubi and Urban Flix. Yeah. Urban Flix, and then also you said there's another one.
The Spot 313.
The Spot. And then you also had a small role in
Tragan's Love of Fate. And it's on Tubi and Amazon Prime.
There we go. Tell everybody where they can reach you on social medias. Unless you don't want nobody to know where you at, then you know.
It's fine. Y'all can find me on Instagram, JDrake_. That's JAYDRAKE_. Yes, Drake is really my last name. I don't like Drake like that. And on Facebook, J Ugoma Drake. Ugoma is spelled Ugomma.
Yeah, that is what's up. Oh, I just found out. I know I joked about how I'm Polynesian and whatnot. I'm really not a Samoan, but my sister-in-law went to, going with the whole Ghana thing. My sister-in-law went to Hawaii and she got me a keychain that said what my Hawaiian name is, like how you say Jason in Hawaiian. It is Ayakona.
Ayakona.
Ayakona. So
Ayakona.
now on, when y'all address me, I like to be addressed as Ayakona.
Ayakona. I'm gonna do that next time I see you. Ayakona.
Ayakona. You got to put the ko in there. Ayakona. Yeah. Kev, what you got coming up?
Not much coming up, other than the fact that the shelter that I'm on the board of, People Serving People, we're having our annual gala. So if you go to peopleservingpeople.org, you can definitely join virtually. Please contribute, or you can just show up to the website, donate, and keep it moving. Otherwise, we appreciate it. We got a lot of kids going back to school. Their parents are definitely impacted from the remote working situations, and this is a shelter, and so we just want to help families end their experience with their homelessness. Otherwise, y'all can hit me up and follow me on Instagram at Hercules Jackson and on Twitter at _KevB_.
Got you. And as always, y'all can find me on Facebook and YouTube. Wherever y'all watching me right now, it's spelled the same way, The Jason Experience, just like this say right there. On Instagram, it's spelled The Jason Experience, like that, except all together, all one word. And I've been posting to TikTok, but I got a vendetta. I guess we'll talk about this next time. I got vendetta against TikTok. Very fun to watch, but I don't like posting my stuff on there no more. But yeah. So once again, thank you, Miss J Drake, for coming on here. Everybody else, I will see y'all later. Hopefully that we don't have another hiatus like we did last time. We won't, because I promised y'all at the beginning that we won't have one. So yeah. Once again, J Drake. Find her on Instagram, JDrake _JAYDRAKE _ or on Facebook, J Ugoma Drake. Right. Y'all have a good night. I'm about to go watch the Lions. Peace.